All right, so you've sent over quite the collection this time. Excerpts from educational PDFs, a library catalog, some social media tips, even personal reflections from an artist.
Wow.
Today's deep dive, well, it takes us from ancient civilizations to the power of words
Right.
and, well, everything in between, really. Get ready. We're about to explore how ancient people might have interacted with extraterrestrial beings, uncover surprising connections between archaeology and, our lives today, and even discover how just changing the way you use words can, like, transform your whole reality.
I think what I find most intriguing is how all these seemingly disparate topics, they might actually all be interconnected.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's dive right in. This Ancient Teachings in Archaeology PDF, I think, is a great place to start.
Okay.
It talks about how archaeologists are like detectives and, I've always loved a good mystery. So how exactly does, like, digging up pottery shards translate to Sherlock Holmes?
Well, you have to think about it like this. Archaeologists, they piece together fragments of the past, things like pottery, tools, remnants of structures.
Right.
It's just like detectives, how they analyze clues at a crime scene. They're both trying to reconstruct events, understand motivations, and ultimately, I think, tell a story.
Okay. Yeah.
Take, for example, Dr. Thomas A. Four, who is mentioned in this PDF. He studied Paleo-Indian and archaic people who lived in Montana thousands of years ago.
Oh,
He analyzed their campsites, bison kill sites, and even uncovered a rare statuette all the way over in France.
really?
Yeah, it's like connecting these dots across continents and millennia.
That's incredible. I hadn't even thought about it that way. It really makes you realize just how much work goes into understanding even a small slice of history. And that statuette discovery, I mean, you've got to wonder what kind of journey did that little piece of art make?
Exactly. And it highlights the importance of preserving archaeological sites. If those sites are, destroyed or looted, it's like losing pieces of a puzzle. We lose the context, the connections, and ultimately the story.
It's like ripping pages out of a history book before we even get to read them. So let's switch gears a bit. This library catalog titled Mandalas, it really caught my eye.
Mm.
The sheer variety is amazing.
Yeah, there's a lot there.
From Wheel of Time sand mandala to the Gospels as a mandala of wisdom, it's like, what is it about these circular designs that seems to transcend cultures and religions?
You've got mandalas from all these different traditions because the core idea is to map the universe onto a circle. It's like holding infinity in your hand. They can be used for meditation, visualization, or simply as a reminder of the beauty and complexity of the universe.
That's so fascinating. Like, it makes me want to go create my own mandala right now. Maybe I discover some hidden truths about myself in the process.
Oh,
Okay, now for the part I've been waiting for, this Notes 2503180617737 PDF, it takes us deep into the realm of ancient mysteries and alternative theories. It mentions Chariots of the Gods by Eric von Daniken. Have you had a chance to read it?
yes, I have. Von Daniken's theories about ancient astronauts, they've always captivated readers.
Oh, for sure.
He takes you on this whirlwind tour of these ancient mysteries, like the Gate of the Sun and the Baalbek platform, and asks, could our ancestors have gotten a helping hand from beings with technology beyond our wildest dreams?
It's a big question.
Yeah, and while it's important to approach such claims with a healthy dose of skepticism, it's undeniably thought-provoking.
It really makes you question what we think we know about history,
Yeah.
right? I mean, if ancient civilizations did interact with extraterrestrials, that changes everything. The PDF also mentions Cosmic Origin by Ismael Perez, which delves into even more mind-boggling theories.
Yeah, Perez proposes that humans originated as light beings in higher dimensions. It's a fascinating concept that really challenges conventional views of human origins.
Yeah.
What both these books do, I think, is encourage us to keep an open mind
Right.
and to consider that our current understanding of the past might be incomplete.
Absolutely. That's a good point. It's like we're constantly expanding the horizons of what's possible, both scientifically and historically. It's like we're peeling back layers of an onion. Like, the more we learn, the more we realize there's just more to uncover. Okay, are you ready to shift gears again?
Sure.
We've got this PDF titled words.pdf, and it claims that words have the power to, transform reality.
Mm.
Now, I'm all for the power of positive thinking and all that, but is there, like, any science behind this?
Well, there's actually quite a bit of psychology at play here.
Okay.
Think about the last time you saw an ad with the word like guaranteed.
Yeah.
It probably made you feel a little more confident about the product, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
Or how about free? Suddenly, that your interest is piqued. These are what we call power words, and they tap into our deep-seated emotional responses in our brains.
So it's not just about sounding fancy or anything. Like,
Mhm.
these words actually trigger something in our minds.
Exactly. So using the word guaranteed, it eliminates those feelings of uncertainty, making something seem more appealing.
Okay.
And then free, it taps into our natural kind of aversion to loss.
Right.
Even if we weren't planning on buying the product in the first place, the idea of getting something for nothing is hard to resist.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is more than just marketing manipulation then. It's about, like, understanding the underlying mechanisms of how our minds work.
Right.
I'm starting to see how this connects to that whole law of attraction idea.
Yeah.
Like, if our words can evoke such strong emotions, it makes sense that they could influence our actions and even our reality, right?
Yeah, it's certainly an intriguing possibility.
For sure.
And it kind of brings us to the personal reflections you sent over about the musician and artist Carnage One Only.
Yes.
His journey is a fascinating example of someone intentionally using words and music to create a desired reality.
Yes. Carnage one only. His story is so powerful, overcoming those struggles with mental health, addiction, broken relationships. He seems to have found a way to, like, transform his pain into something, beautiful and inspiring.
Absolutely. He really believes in the power of words and sound to heal and inspire.
Yeah.
He's deeply interested in ancient wisdom and esoteric practices,
Right.
and he's exploring how to harness these ancient ideas in a modern context.
He's taking these, like, ancient concepts and remixing them for a new generation.
Yeah.
And it's working. His music resonates with so many people who are going through similar challenges.
Exactly. Remember those power words we discussed?
Yeah.
Carnage only uses them intentionally in his lyrics, words like hope, strength, rise. He's weaving this tapestry of sound and language that's designed to evoke emotions, inspire change, and create a sense of community.
It's like his music is like a sonic mandala,
Hmm.
a carefully crafted representation of his own internal universe. And it's resonating with the internal universes of, like, countless others.
That's a beautiful way to put it, and it really highlights how these seemingly disparate concepts like archaeology, the power of words, and personal transformation, they can actually converge in surprising ways.
I'm really struck by something Carnage One only mentions in his reflections, this concept of a great reset.
Yeah.
What do you think he means by that? I mean, it feels like this thread that runs through all these sources, this idea of a fundamental shift, a reevaluation of what we know and how we live.
It's a really powerful idea, isn't it? It could be, you know, personal, societal, even global.
Right.
It's about recognizing that, like, the old ways of doing things, the old systems of belief, they may no longer be serving us.
Yeah.
And, it's about having the courage to break down those structures and rebuild something, something better, something more aligned with our true potential.
It makes me think about how archaeologists, they study the collapse of ancient civilizations, not just to understand what went wrong, but also to learn what lessons we can apply to our own time.
Right.
Like, if history is cyclical,
Yeah.
perhaps we're on the cusp of a new cycle, a new era.
Perhaps. And if that's true, then, understanding the power of words, of symbols, of shared narratives,
Right.
that becomes even more critical. It's through these tools that we shape our collective reality.
Carnage One Only is certainly using his platform to shape a new reality, a reality where vulnerability is strength, where pain can be transformed into art, and where connection and community are paramount. It's a vision I think we can all get behind.
It's pretty amazing how all these sources, each unique in its own way, they all weave together this tapestry of interconnectedness. Like, we've journeyed from the physical remnants of ancient civilizations to the, metaphysical realm of words and their power to shape reality. And through it all, we've encountered these individuals like Dr. Four and Carnage One Only, who are really pushing the boundaries of knowledge,
Right.
challenging conventional thinking, and ultimately, inspiring us to question, to explore, and to create.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And it just, like, strikes me that there's this underlying theme of cycles throughout all of this The cyclical nature of history, the rise and fall of civilizations, the ebb and flow of personal transformation. It's like this constant dance between like creation and destruction, order and chaos.
Yeah. And within that dance, we have the power to choose.
That's true.
We can choose to cling to outdated paradigms, to repeat the mistakes of the past, or we can choose to embrace change, to learn from those who came before us, and to co-create a future that reflects our, highest aspirations.
So as we start to wrap up this deep dive, what are some key takeaways you hope our listener walks away with?
I think, the most important takeaway is this. Knowledge is not static.
Okay.
It's a dynamic, ever-evolving process of discovery. Whether we're digging into archaeological sites, exploring the symbolism of mandalas, or delving into, the psychology of language, the journey itself is just as important as the destination.
I love that.
Yeah.
It's not just about what we know, but how we engage with knowledge, how we allow it to, challenge our assumptions, expand our perspectives, and ultimately transform our understanding of ourselves and the world around us.
Exactly. And it's also about recognizing that each of us has a role to play in this grand tapestry of knowledge.
I like that.
We all have something unique to contribute, our experiences, our perspectives, our passions, like Carnage One only sharing his journey through music, or
Right.
Dr. Four, painstakingly piecing together the past. Each of us can add a thread to this ever-expanding tapestry.
And those threads, woven together, they create a richer, more vibrant, more nuanced understanding of who we are and where we're headed.
Yeah.
It's like that saying, we're all just walking each other home.
Beautifully put. So, as we conclude this deep dive, I would encourage our listener to embrace curiosity, to question everything, and to never stop exploring.
That's great advice.
The world is a vast and wondrous place, full of mysteries waiting to be uncovered, connections waiting to be made, and stories waiting to be told.
What a perfect note to end on. It's been an absolute pleasure diving deep into these fascinating topics with you. And to our listener, thank you for sharing these incredible sources with us. We hope this deep dive has sparked your curiosity, expanded your horizons, and maybe even inspired you to create a little magic of your own. Until next time, keep seeking, keep questioning, keep exploring, and remember, the universe is waiting to conspire with your wildest dreams.